Finance Committee meeting on January the 23rd. Dr. Jones?
Here.
Counselor Gwaltney? Is he here? Counselor Allemon?
Here.
Counselor Smith?
Here.
And Counselor Harden? Is
All right,
Harden?
great.
Is Harden here?
No.
So
No.
Gwaltney and Harden absent.
Okay.
So you got quorum, but just barely 3.
All right, wonderful. Yeah, we have a lot tonight, so that's why I wanted to get started. Is there a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes
So moved.
and approval? January 3rd, okay. Moved by Counselor Smith, second by Counselor Allemon. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed by the same time. 3-0, that passes. Let's go through old business, and then I'm going to take 090123 out of order because they're here. At old business 250417, request for consideration of 18th Street revitalization project. Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir. So I talked to Talon today. He's the CE&I representative for GMC. We're still waiting on Telco to do the AT&T connections at Valley. Once they do that, Bulls is going to have 7 days to remobilize. And then they're still waiting on the electrical contractor supplier for materials for the Hawk signals. We don't know when they're coming. The Hawk signals are pedestrian pedestals
Let me double check.
For the crosswalks?
that are going across 18.
Gotcha.
And then they have left grading and placement of sidewalk and curb and gutter on Valley, drainage structures on Valley, traffic poles and any remaining lighting items along 18th Street, asphalt and striping, and sodding.
The two questions I had, do we need to send a letter to AT&T? This was supposed to take 2 or 3 days when they first told me, and it's been going on over a month.
So the work will take 2 or 3 days. They just can't get them out there.
I know, but I thought they were going out there that it was we told them it was a priority. We're holding up our entire project. Do we need to send them a letter from the mayor, or does Mike need to send them a letter?
We can look into that and see if that would be helpful.
I mean, we're not getting any action at all from AT&T. It's the same report every time. Does anyone have any suggestions?
Where's Andy?
Yeah. I think we can try to put pressure from as many different directions as we can. I mean, it's AT&T. So,
Yeah, they don't care.
There's only.
And it's their sub telco.
Okay.
Which makes it even more difficult.
Right.
Okay.
But I think I certainly wouldn't be opposed to the mayor,
Okay.
sending something and seeing if we get some movement. But
JJ, can you ask the mayor to call them and send them a letter? Okay.
Is that it?
No, the second question, is there a reason that the poles are so high? I had a question, somebody like if you're walking across the street, you're gonna be, even I would be doing this. Is it going on the very top of the pedestrian, crosswalk poles? The ones that are those pedestrian poles?
I don't know which poles you're.
The ones in the middle of the road, the middle of 18th Street.
Oh, I'm not sure.
is it? I just can't remember. Is it that they hang down? They're sort of
Well, right.
all in the side
Cantilever over the
hangs.
street, right? Yeah. I can go back and look and
They're ugly
figure out the
currently, and we're trying to convey a beautiful 18th Street streetscape here. And we've got these massive poles in the middle of the thing. I just don't understand that.
Yeah.
As to why we had a design like that.
I'll ask Keith about it and see
Okay.
at what elevation the signals will hang across 18th Street.
I think it's good. No, I agree with you. Just looking at them.
Something's not
I
right.
mean, it's not a finished product yet.
Yeah,
so I'm
right.
assuming that there's an explanation for it, but right now they do look a little tall. To me, is what I'm getting.
Yes, okay.
All right.
Those are any other questions?
That sheet that was provided from the designers to look at?
Yeah, we'll talk to GMC about it.
Yeah, we need to talk to GMC and find that out. But I'd like to get ahead of it before it's a finished project and,
Yeah,
and
before it's
we're
permanent.
looking straight up and getting run over by traffic. Okay, we're gonna, thank you for that report. We'll carry that over, and, Counselor Harden is here. Please make a note of that. You need more time, but do you need more time?
No, I'm good.
Okay, 12/11/22 bid opening was set for tonight at 4:45 for street signs. We had 5 people bidding, and so Mr. Hamley has reviewed those, and it has a recommendation for us.
I'm gonna recommend our lowest bidder was Brandon Industries, and their total came out to be $77,256. Under budget.
What did we budget?
Okay.
90.
90.
I think we're just doing like,
And remember, we broke it up into three phases, and
but still.
as long as Brandon Industries is okay with the long-term, that does not guarantee that pricing for year 2 and 3, as I understand. Okay.
More than likely change.
But your recommendation is Brandon Industries as the lowest responsible bidder at $77,656.
$77,256.
656.
256.
256. Thank you.
All right, I would make a motion to,
Mr. Chairman, can I ask what the style, if we settle on style, or is that coming, or beautification board yet to know?
I think the beautification board is already settled.
Or is it citywide?
Yes.
That's exciting.
It's gonna be kind of similar to.
Oh, yeah, that's exciting, you
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
We're doing
I'd make-
everything but Hollywood.
I would make a motion, I would make a motion to approve the recommendation for accepting the bid from the lowest responsible bidding, Brandon Industries, for
Second,
$77,256.
as long as it comes to Ward 5.
Yep, okay, moved by Counselor Smith, second by Counselor Allemon for that recommendation, Brandon Industries. Any other questions, comments? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed by the same sign. That passes 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Hamley. 04/12/22, request for consideration of changes to city's workers' comp occupational medical clinic. Mr. Wyatt.
Yeah, I would ask the committee to table this for a little while. That's going to allow us to look into a few things.
Randy. Randy.
And I think we can come back and present options to the committee when we've got a couple of things that we've looked into a little more.
Motion to table.
Second.
Thank you.
Moved by Counselor Smith, second by Counselor Harden. So we will, been motioned and seconded. Any questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. 4-0, that passes. That's now tabled, and we'll look forward to that report. 06/12/22, request for final budget amendments for 21-22 budgets and budget amendments for 22-23 for encumbrances. Mr. Burgett.
The first one that you just received is for the carryover, the encumbrances and outstanding purchase orders at the end of last year. There's one addition that needs to be added. It's going to be from line item 01-09-499301. That's carryover fund balance in the amount of $2,104.50. That's purchase order number 22-3935, and that is to account number 01-15-570-600 fire prevention in the amount of
That's the only one
2104.50.
that's not on there.
Where
Yes.
are you taking it? You're taking it from where? to
Taking
find?
it from the
Carryover
carryover fund balance and put it in covering fire prevention. Mr. Harden, all these are coming out of carryover fund balance because at the end of last year, the money was rolled back into fund balance, and then we take it back out to cover the outstanding PO. So it's really it's a wash from the prior year's budget. But these are all items that were outstanding or partially receipted or not received at year's end. And then the second item is the budget items, budget requested to balance all the line items in the budget. And this was done, except for one. All these items are done with money that was in the department, that was already budgeted to the department. So it was moved from one item to another to offset any overages that were available at the end of the budget, except for one item, and that is on the third page. It's 0127, and let me the
contractual services.
contractual services, yeah. The, on 0127, IT contractual services, that money was taken out of carryover fund balance in the amount of $33,750. And, as y'all were aware, and I'm glad Margaret Ann's here because she can help us out on this, that was due to our cybersecurity requiring hosted email and the two-factor authentication and taking our financial software hosted. That's where this wasn't budgeted, and this is where that money came from. All other items were budgeted money that was moved to a different line.
So that's
item.
the only one.
That is the
was not
only one that
budgeted.
is new money, correct?
Carryover, okay. Got to see that. Okay, any questions on both of those?
This is basically
documents?
just cleaning up the books from
Cleaning up,
last year.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, I would make a motion to approve the encumbrances and the cleanup items.
Okay, moved by Counselor Smith, seconded by Counselor Allen, for the amendments and also the encumbrances.
That's fine.
Okay, any questions? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. 4-0, that passes. Okay,
And can you just make a note, Mr. Ham, can we do those, and it'll be easy for us if we can do them in two different resolutions. We'll have them separate, so we'll just make a note. We'll have the ones for the FY 21-22 as one resolution on the script, and then that's one for 22-23, so we'll have two prepared. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna take out of order 090123, request to consider insurance renewal for both property casualty and workers' comp insurance with Margaret Ann Coburn, who's here to speak to us about this. And any, Alex, you have any opening comments on this, or
I'm sorry.
Cobb's Allen?
Oh, yeah. Let me grab something. So we have representatives of Cobb's Allen here. The premiums have gone up, again, because our claims history continues to go up. And so, one tends to follow the other. I don't think it's a situation of anything to do with anything other than the claims history. And they can speak to that a little bit better than I can. But what I think there's really not much to do here other than approve this and move forward. I mean, not having insurance is kind of not an option. And obviously this is a better deal than we're going to get in any other way. So what I think we need to focus on, and we've talked with Cobb's Allen about this, is working on steps to try to prevent the claims in the first place. Any insurance is done over usually a 3-year period, so your claims history, we're going to have to live with this claims history for a while. The point is not trying to get this down, finding the right policy to get this down or something like that.
Your claims history goes for everybody.
Right, it's up for everybody.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's not changing anything. What we have to focus on is the claims and preventing claims in the future. So Cobb's Allen's been good enough to talk with Travelers. There were 3 items that they want to work with us on that we have started working on. One is an accident review procedure. So if there's an accident, you have a committee that this goes to. Mr. Harden is currently working on that with Robert and Melody, so that we will come, and that proposal should be coming before us sometime soon. We also are working on an updated employee handbook for all employees, and then doing new safety orientation for new employees. Those were three things specifically that Traveler suggested. We've also been talking with various department heads about other ways to hopefully, again, try to prevent claims from happening in the first place. And if we can do that, then in a matter of years, these numbers will start to come down. And quite frankly, I do think we have some claims that are avoidable that we are not avoiding at the moment. And so if we take some of these steps, I think we will be in a better position 2, 3, 4 years from now. And so that, I think that's where we need to focus our attention. But I do very much appreciate Cobb's Allen's work in getting this proposal to us because I do think it's a good proposal given our claims history.
I'm assuming this can be targeted though as to there's probably some units that are making claims more often than others, right?
Absolutely.
And so we could also do like, I mean perhaps we already do more ongoing trainings for existing employees as well.
Correct. I mean, for example, certain departments have more vehicles than other departments, right? So that creates more potential for automobile claims, which is a large source of our claims history. Certain departments have work that is more prone to having on-the-job injuries than other departments, which leads to more workers' comp injuries. So yes, those are some of the things that we are looking at and talking with department heads specifically about things that can hopefully be done in terms of policies, internal policies within those departments that may be helpful.
Is that anything? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Is that anything where the personnel board could help us in navigating some of that policy? I'm just,
I love it when somebody says to the personnel
Good
board
one.
help
Personnel
us.
board to help in the same
I know,
sense.
Yeah.
but we do pay them. I mean, we have an amount we contribute to them, and it would be great if we could find a way where we benefit from that arrangement.
They
I
do,
agree wholeheartedly with that
That is a
system.
great
they do have a list of classes that Pete Blank hosts, but I don't, they're more on the citizen, they're more on the supervisory
All right.
and
They can
HR.
provide, they do some training and that we might be able
It's
to
more
tap
from an
into,
HR
but in
Well,
perspective.
and
terms
we've
of
had
policies.
we've had Pete Kane, didn't he? I can't
Yeah,
remember
I
what he
think
did for us.
the
But
majority of their classes, I think, are computer and training and supervisory training.
Leadership
I don't
and
know that there's
supervisory, yeah.
that much safety, but they do publish a calendar.
Diversity training for the police department.
Do what now?
they did diversity training for us.
Yeah.
Well, I do.
We actually had that for the whole
Ideally,
city
something
too.
like that would be part of the arrangement, but I thought it would just
No.
wonder what our options are.
It's a good question. I will say that one of the benefits of having Cobb's Allen involved is that they have people that handle this sort of thing too, and we are tapping into their experience. And that's, y'all correct me if I'm wrong here, that's just one of the services that we get as for free as part of our package with them.
Because that's exactly what I want
So
to
that we're
know.
not
Is like,
recreating the
yeah,
wheel.
But Brian Butler is
and
one.
not incurring additional costs. I mean, it's worth to pay additional for preventative, obviously, but ideally we could tap on anything in kind. That's why I was asking about personnel board, but it's part of their
That was
package,
one of
then
the
that's
reasons that
perfect.
when we
Okay.
did the review a number of years ago and switched to Cobb's Allen, that was one of the benefits of Cobb's Allen versus the other agencies was that they had these sort of resources that came to us just as part of the package.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
And I did ask our claim team, there's 6 of them that are agency, I said, well, how much time do you think your team spends on Homewood? And she said about 30%.
Wow.
So, you know, we're trying to work and get the claims down and those kinds of things. And I do have one statistic that I thought was interesting. Said the out-of-work days on the work comp policy is actually down from 47 2 years ago to 19. So that's an improvement. So we're making good strides. It's just that we've had a few, you know, outlying severe claims, large ones that kind of hit hard this year.
But I think the market's changed. We've gone
The
from a
market has
soft
changed.
market to a hard market
Absolutely.
in the
And
last
that's
3
on
years.
every single line. I mean, you'll see there's increases in everything because, and that's gonna hit all of y'all on your personal homeowners, your personal auto. I mean, it's, those prices are going up. They really are. So that is the market.
And I sent everything out that you had sent me to the committee, so, I mean, you're welcome to go through whatever you'd like to, or we can take questions, however you want to do it.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions that y'all have.
So it doesn't sound like we're that out of Well, it does, and the 30%, I don't really know how that shakes out. But I mean, are our claims a lot higher than comparable communities?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Very.
and it's not attributable to just those couple of long-term things that you're talking about? Or,
No.
I mean, that's I mean, I don't have to know about a lot of specifics, but I mean, that's a problem.
Yeah, it is. We have more claims than we should, and the claims, a few of the claims are more severe than you hope to have.
Okay.
And so it's a sort of multifaceted issue, I won't call it a problem, but an issue that we hopefully can deal with by implementing more things to be preventative.
Training and.
Yep.
Okay.
As well as things after the accidents occurred, that there's actually a review of it so that, you hopefully can prevent that same accident from happening again in the future.
Who is our workers' comp? Who do y'all?
Everything's for travelers.
Travelers. It's a
Yeah.
$300,000.
It's a lot.
I mean, it's jumping $300,000 next year.
But look at the claims, like if you go down
I did.
I mean, the claims are pretty simple.
But we also, that's one of the things, not, for the record, not for or against, it's just saying I'm an employee, I'm really for it, but when we give the cost of living increase, your whole payroll's going up, so your workers' comp's paid on a percentage of your payroll.
Sure.
So that's a fringe benefit that you would expect, because when Robert and I did the payroll for them, for the renewal, I looked at it and went, oh my gosh, because it was like scared me for a second, but again, we appreciate the COLA, very much so.
Sure.
But it just makes sure workers' comp go up because it's based on payroll cost.
Yeah. So as your payroll goes up, your comp goes up because that's what's determining the
How
award
much
from
they
comp.
get,
And we've also had a few, well, I shouldn't say few, we've had a couple of very severe comp claims.
And Alex, because you're in this world, those, eventually, there's a endpoint at that, or no?
So it depends on the claim.
Right.
And it depends on how long they are, what the injury is and how long I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but how long their vocational disability exists.
Yeah.
So it can last essentially sort of forever until you hit a cap. I think it's kind of complicated, but yeah, they can last a really long time, or they can be short, and it just sort of depends on how their recovery is and how that affects their ability to work that or a similar job moving forward in the future.
And I will say, Barry, just to your point, that's what you're paying us to do, is to try to get those closed within the bounds of the laws and,
Yes.
everything in the work comp world. But we stay on top of those. That's part of that 30% of our team that they spend on Homewood.
On our people, yeah.
And that was one of the things, I think it came out, it was a little bit confusing to me when it came out on that other issue we talked about the drug testing. I don't know if some of that got blurred. It seemed like in the conversation, but that they were talking about, Fire was talking about that monthly call that we have. That's something that we do with Cobbs Allen and her team, with Robert and all the department heads, police and fire. That was, to me, kind of blended. I didn't understand why. That wasn't something different from the drug testing. But that's what we do with Margaret and with Travelers, to go over every comp claim every month of where we are on it, so that everybody's on the same page.
All the department heads are on, and so they're all aware of what's going on too. So they know what's out there, the severity of the claims, what's happening, and all that kind of. They know that.
Yeah.
And see if there's some way like that one person may be released to not go back to that job, but could go back to another job that somebody else has. And so we're all within departments on the same call. So it makes it a lot more communicative than it used to be.
I'm sorry, I just want to add too that we have that monthly call, but also every time a city employee visits a doctor, visits a therapist, whatever it is, I get an email. They forward me an email from Tracy Bagley, whomever, what the results were, what the expectation is, what the work restrictions are. I mean, we get many a week, and I forward that specific email to the department head, so they're kept in the loop. There's a lot more to it than just that monthly call. It is every doctor's visit, every occupational therapy visit. Tracy sends an email and said, this is what happened. this is what we're looking for, these are the results, and then I'll forward those to the department heads.
Got it, okay. Well, I would encourage you to kind of read through this. If there are questions, can we reach out
Y'all
to
can
you?
call me, email me.
Okay, okay.
I do want to point out one thing, just because the premium went up a lot, our fee did not go up, our fee did not change. So you're not paying us anymore, because we're not on commission, we're on a fee, which is, you know, we designed it that way, because
Yeah.
there's no reason for us to get paid more just because the premium goes up.
Is there a motion to be made at this point?
I think the motion is to renew, right?
Yeah, this
Approve
is
the
just
renewal.
Yeah, this is
To approve the renewal.
Approve to renew.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the renewal.
I will second that.
Okay, moved by Counselor Alderman, second by Counselor Smith. For the renewal, any other questions? And we'll make a note to, I'm gonna have Mr. Sims call the personnel board and see what he can.
But they really
make
do save us
magic
some money on
happen.
the computer training, I promise.
It's so funny, I was having deja vu because I asked that question
Yeah,
10 years ago.
And I think you got the same reaction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, in light of that, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. We're still at 4-0 there, okay? Thank you.
Thank y'all. Please feel free to call me, email me if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Ann.
Thank y'all.
Thanks.
Okay, we're gonna start back up at the top, 010123. Request consideration to declare the following items surplus, and you can see all those, dump truck, two dump trucks, Caterpillar backhoe, these are all
There's a
from
list
Gordon
of various
James.
items.
And we, I believe we sent that out, didn't we?
I did not. Melody
Did not.
forwarded it to me, and I just asked, I did not send it out. I apologize.
Got it.
There's a bunch of miscellaneous items
Okay, if you
that are on
can,
a
if you can just
sheet.
send that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it.
Send that out so that everybody will at least have that.
All right, I'd make a motion to declare the items surplus.
Second.
I'll give it to Hardin.
Yes,
Counselor
sir.
Smith made the motion and Counselor Hardin
Commissioner
seconded
Simmons,
that.
please. for the
All in favor say aye.
ordinance.
Aye.
All opposed by the
Okay.
same sign, 4-0. Okay, get your thinking caps on here. 020123 and 030123 kind of go together. So we sent out, Mr. Smith sent out a description and a explanation. So could you provide that for us, and I guess we'll have to take them each separately.
Sure.
So 0201 is amend contract with CB&A Construction, and this is all, both of these are from Mecca.
Is that shown at the top, Kim? I see it.
Yeah, so it's not showing it, the visual of on the PDF at the bottom, but it may not matter, because I can explain in words.
Just tell me what you
So this is along Mecca Avenue sidewalk. If you remember, we did this job back in the fall, and before we bid it, the engineer and myself walked along Mecca with all the homeowners who would be affected by this project. And when we got here to this house, the homeowner said, first of all, this is the only place on the street where we'll have to put in a small retaining wall. And the homeowner said, I don't really like the retaining wall that you're gonna put in, I'd like to put in something nicer. And I said,
Nicer.
well, the city's not gonna do that. And so, what we did was, we bid a unit item for the retaining wall that the city would put in, and the cost of that unit price was $14,000. And so what we'd like to do at this point is to take the $14,000 out of the sidewalk contractor's contract and move $14,000, give it to Twin, who's gonna do a home renovation here and build the nicer retaining wall, which is gonna be above $14,000. The homeowner will pay the rest.
And do we need to, how do we guarantee that what's gonna be done there is up to our standards and all those fun
They have
things?
to have a permit.
Okay.
Building.
So I have to get a permit, yeah.
I mean, I know what their plans are, I just wanna make sure that we're happy with what's done.
Right, sure. So they're gonna put a veneer on it, on a stack wall. They're gonna do it all at the same time when we're building the sidewalk here.
Okay.
Our contractor and Twin have already coordinated.
And you'll inspect it to make sure that it's gonna be nicer, it's gonna be probably higher quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nicer. It's gonna appear nicer, for sure.
It's gonna look all nice.
They've gone above and beyond the call of duty, working with these residents, and we really appreciate it.
So Exactly, and this is no new money, this is really taking that 14,000 from that contract and sending that to Twin, or
Right,
transferring
giving
that to
a new contract.
a new contract to Twin so they can put it in their budget for that retained.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, well, so we're gonna make, these
I
are
guess,
two
yeah, I guess
separate
on,
motions,
yeah,
right?
let's make the motion.
Two resolutions.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
two
so, yeah, okay.
resolutions, so
So,
0201 would
then
be-
I would make a motion that we approve, removing the $14,000 from the sidewalk budget and transferring that to Twin Construction to construct a different wall.
Okay, so your first motion for 020123 is to amend the contract with CB&A in the amount of 14,000.
Yeah,
So that's your
yes.
first.
That is my
motion.
first, indeed, my first
Second.
motion.
Okay. Smith and Harden made the motion on that, second on that. Okay, so let's vote on that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign, that's 4-0, that
And then
passes.
I would make a motion for the mayor to sign a contract with Twin Construction to construct the wall in conjunction with our
In the amount of
sidewalk.
14,000.
Is that for the next item?
Yes, yeah, the 0301.
Will we need an indemnification agreement?
I don't, since it's part of our,
No.
No.
since it's part of our sidewalk.
Yeah, no, we don't.
So, just a second.
Okay.
Okay, so moved by
Good
Counselor
question.
Smith, second by Counselor Allamont. For that, okay, any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign, passes 4-0. Thank you for that, you didn't make it confusing, so I appreciate that. 070123, request for consideration of removing trees on Valley that arborist has marked as declining. Mr. Squires.
Yes, and I've been, said y'all. Brand worked with us a while back, and we've got, if y'all, most of you have been along Valley, we've got a great number of trees in the right of way that have hit their life expectancy. We've had several drop, speaking of things, drop limbs, cars, pretty good size on cars and all that. So we have gone through and identified the ones that are on there that need to be taken out. So,
How many total?
I think there's 9 total. Yeah, I think there was one we were kind of.
Be about?
Yeah.
And those are in front of the townhouses?
Yes.
Primarily? Yeah.
Yep.
And on that, I mean, some of them might be pruned to prolong them, but again, it kind of goes to the
Yeah.
assumed risk and what the city's willing to take on liability.
Are we replanting any trees?
So you're
We're-
thinking about, excuse me,
Go ahead.
doing all of them at once?
Yes, it's cheaper for us to get them done at one time. If we go ahead and knock them out, and yes, to answer your question, we're gonna come back in and replant.
Are all these in the right of way?
Yes. There's quite a few that aren't, and then there's quite a few that are, so.
They're not only in the right of way, they're around parking and,
Yeah.
and creating unsafe conditions where
They
cars are
busted
parked,
some of the sidewalks
pedestrians
up,
are walking.
curbing, and there's just a lot of issues along through there with a lot of those, so.
Will any of this add any parking? No.
Most of them are in, like, the
But it will
islands
help
or
the
close to
sidewalks that are being
sidewalks,
bubbled
yeah.
up.
But they busted up the majority of some of the sidewalks, because it'll give us a chance to come in and fix some of those that have
Got
been,
it, okay.
you know,
Do
in pretty
you,
bad
do
shape.
you think we will repair sidewalks?
The ones that are along in there, we will, not the ones that they drive over and park on.
That's a year, I think that may be a conversation for
Yeah.
improvement project down the road.
Yeah, I mean, along in there, but they park on and bust, a lot of that's done by tenants that are parking on
Old.
sidewalks that,
Old and
yeah.
passed out.
It's a condition, it wasn't meant to do what it's.
Yeah, that's right. So,
I think this is part of the tree line item, right?
Yeah,
This is-
where
this
is
is
this
budgeted
coming out of the
money, right?
budget?
yeah, I'm just gonna take it out of that,
Tree.
yeah, I mean,
Taking that contractual services?
Well, we did more this year, but it, you know.
The magic tree fund.
It's
Is
gonna,
it contractual
you know,
services, is that what it's?
Yeah, it's in contractual.
Is
I'll
it
take
on
it
the-
out of it, but I'll probably have to come back later.
You're talking about 120, is that what it
Yeah,
is?
something like that. Yeah.
Do other than fund it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the money. I just wanted to, I didn't want it to go, I mean, with that many coming down, I didn't want you guys to be, I'd prefer to come and make sure you guys are good with it before we move forward.
And you don't have an amount?
You know, it's 38,000.
What do we have, 150?
Not as bad as that.
No, I think we went to 100 this year.
Yeah, we,
Finally.
Okay.
We've been at 40 for years.
So the request is to.
yeah, we
2 months.
kind of figured that wasn't gonna work.
So,
Okay, so the request is to approve approve the removing of the trees on Valley that are declining at, under contractual services for $38,000.
And I assume that when Graves, who I assume is gonna be who does it, when they get in there, if they find a tree that they think, oh, well, we can take limbs off and
Yeah.
make this work, they'll do that. and start taking down.
Jamie will be over there, so
He'll
he'll
be with
kind
them.
of,
Okay.
I think Graham identified, there's one or two that probably can be limbed this go
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
And we'll just kind of watch
The
it.
longer it's left, it puts danger not only
Yeah.
to pedestrians and vehicles,
Right.
but also the climber who has to cut it.
Yeah.
So it's just, they're all,
Safer and.
Yeah, I know, I drive by there and I
Yeah.
think, that's not good.
it's just kind of one that we've been kind of holding as long as we can. We've kind
Okay.
of hit that point, so. But I didn't want to, that's one of those, I just prefer you guys take a look at, make sure you're good.
Can I ask real quick?
Hold on one second.
About the plan,
Oh, just hold on one second. Mr. Kendrick had something.
Is there something you need from me, technically, legally, there's nothing required the city?
Procedurally, I don't think we need a resolution.
No, I just, like I said.
It's an FYI,
Yeah.
but I think approval would be appropriate.
Yeah, I would just, when we do that many and somewhere like that, I prefer you guys.
You want us just to put that on the
Okay,
consent
but-
agenda then, so we don't have to really have a resolution or anything?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, and Ms. Gear, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, do we have a plan yet for replanting? Would that be next fall, or do we have any idea yet?
Right now, Fletcher and I are working on that.
Okay, thank
To
you.
decide what we're gonna do moving forward. Because I think that may come into play with the money we have for some of the tree planting that we have,
Yeah.
that we never get to use, because we can't get anybody to bid. So I may ask you guys to let me use some of that to replant some of those, because I got this one this go round, and then over in Wildwood North,
Yeah.
some of those old Bradford pears and stuff that are falling everywhere and all that. So this one was priority because of the safety issues that it's become.
We're communicating all this with the owner over there who. that
Yeah,
guy that
we've
owns-
already talked with them about it.
Okay.
And they actually approached me about it again last year and again at the start of this year.
All right, so the motion is to approve the work, but then it also this doesn't need to go to full council. There's no full count, or does?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
prefer
We
you
just
guys
don't
to
need
take
a
it. I just-
resolution. We're just gonna approve him to use it.
I'm just gonna take it,
in the budget.
I've got that money in
So
there.
we're gonna put it on the consent agenda, y'all just
It'll
approve
be
on
on
the
the
consent
consent
agenda.
Oh, yeah, we'll approve the consent
Contractual
agenda. Okay.
services,
All right.
38,000.
Yeah, okay, so motion to approve.
Thank y'all.
Okay, Counselor Smith, Counselor Alderman seconded that. Any other questions? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. Passes 4-0. Sorry, I should have done yours earlier. Sorry about that. You were hanging out there waiting. 801-23, request to authorize the mayor to sign contract with Gossett Construction to repair storm pipe at 1604 Mountain Gap Circle. Mr. Smith.
Yeah, so this has been going on for, well, since I've been here. There's a storm pipe that goes from Mountain Gap Circle underneath this guy's driveway into an inlet in his
We've
backyard.
seen video on this. I
Oh, yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah. We've had video
Several times.
of this.
Yeah.
He's worried about his foundation cracking in his basement. Walls are being compromised. We can't really confirm that that's the issue of the pipe, but the pipe is in terrible shape, and the joints are so offset from each other that trenchless technology is not impossible, like lining it or doing anything like that. So we have to excavate and replace the pipe. Public Works got a price, and I got a price, and Public Works' price was cheaper, more economical. So that's who I propose to go with. And since it's coming from the ARPA fund, we brought it here.
So your recommendation is to authorize mayor to sign the contract for $42,500 coming out of the ARPA funds.
That's correct.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
Counselor Alderman made the motion. Second by Counselor Hart.
Do we have an amount? Did he tell us an amount? I just missed it.
42. Then we have,
Okay, any other questions? Yeah, we've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're, okay. Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the same sign. It passes 4-0. Did I miss anything? Okay. We're adjourned.